Journey and the Promise with me, Ann Inda. This is a podcast in which we'll be discussing the process of going from a dream through the realization of the promise. And today I want to talk to you about the importance of setting your sail. It's funny, but so often in life, we go through life without direction, just hoping for a better day, hoping for a better future, but yet we have no um, actual direction in which we would be traveling in, right? And when I say setting the sail, it's just like a sailboat. If you get in a sailboat and put it in a river or a stream somewhere and don't set your sail, guess what? You're going to be tossed to and fro. As the wind blows east, you're going to blow east. As it blows west, you're going to go that way, and you'll never end up getting to a specific destination. So what you have to do is set your sail for whatever direction that you want to head in, and that way, even when winds come and blow you to and fro, you're still headed in that general direction. And guess what? It might take a while, but you will eventually get to that destination. However, in life, we tend to just wander through it aimlessly. Circumstances blow us one way, and then the next day they change and we go a different way. And we're constantly hoping and wishing for a better future. And it's funny, but if you ask people, myself included, up until a few months ago, it's like, what is it that you want out of life? If you do not know what you want in life, how are you going to be able to set your sail? How are you going to be able to set your direction to be able to get to the destination that you desire? Most people can tell you, well, I really don't want this, and this is what I don't want. We're so clear on the things that we don't want, but what is it that we actually want? How often do you sit down and just take a minute to reflect and think, this is what I want in life? We are so busy trying to manipulate the output, but what we need to focus on is the input. So we need to sit down, be clear on what we want to accomplish, what we want to do, and then work on the input so that eventually we get to that stage. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it was um, the late Kobe Bryant was being interviewed, and he talked about how one summer um, he had just started playing basketball, so he joined this league and was playing basketball for that summer, right? And he had grown up, I guess, in Italy. I think it was. Don't take my word for it on that one, but I know he had been out of the country and then came to play in the league. And when he joined the league, he played for the summer, and the entire season, he did not score 1 point, not 1 point. I mean, not a free throw, not a, a fluke point, nothing. And he said in the interview, he said that, he was so upset about it and was crying to his dad. And his dad said, well, no, it doesn't matter if you score 0 points or if you score 200 points, I'm still going to love you anyway. And he said that gave him the freedom to just not feel the pressure of, um, failing. But he purposed in his head that day, he said, I know these kids practice like twice a week for a total of maybe 3 hours a week. I'm going to work and do 3 hours a day for sure. And I know that at some point I'm going to catch up to them. I'm going to be as good as they are. So he did that the first year, and he was diligent about it. Every day he worked out for 3 hours. He practiced for 3 hours, and he said all he did was practice the fundamentals. So I'm going to work on my free throws. I'm going to work on shooting from this point. And you know what he said? After the first season, he got a little better. After the second season, then he was actually competing with the other kids. And by the time the third season rolled around, he was actually ranked top in his city. Can you imagine that? In just 3 years, by him setting that intention that this is the input I'm going to you know, make. This is the adjustment I'm going to make. I know where I want to go. I know that I want to be a good basketball player. So I'm going to work on this. And every day I'm going to do this for just an, a limited amount of time. I mean, we have 24 hours in a day. What are we spending that time doing? But he purposed to do that for 3 hours. And within 3 years, he was better than the other kids. and he had started off way worse off than they were. So this is what I'm saying is like in life, if we sit down and decide, hey, um, let me be clear on what I want. This is the direction I want to go in. And then focus on doing one small thing daily that will move the needle in your direction, that will move you in that direction where you want to accomplish. I mean, whatever you want to accomplish, let it be something that is moving you in that direction. And like I said, it's so sad, but we go through life with the daily habits that we formed, not changing anything, not changing our inputs, but then expecting something to change. How is that going to work? We're going to end up with the same result the next 2 years down the road, the next 5 years, and a decade later. We'll still be in under the same sets of circumstances unless we make changes and unless we set our sail to move in the direction that we're actually purposing to go in, right? So this is what I want us to get so clear on. Take the time. It doesn't take long to do, but people just don't take the time to do it. Take the time to sit down and write. What is it that I really want out of life? Reflect on that. It's like I said, myself included, up until a few months ago, I was listening to a podcast that came up on, and I thought, wait a minute, what do I really want out of life? I always talk about the things that I'm not happy about, the things I don't like, but what is it that I'm trying to achieve? What are the things that I want? So take time to think about that, meditate on that, and write it down. Now, once you become clear on that, then actually take the time to just um, come up with a few steps. It doesn't have to be many. The problem is if we try to do too much too soon, then we'll end up giving up because it will be a drastic change that we can't sustain, right? So just think of one thing that you can do each day that will push you in that direction. And you'll be amazed at how much progress you have made in a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road, as long as you're consistently working through that. And that's what I mean by setting your sail. Now I know the direction that I'm headed in. I know what I want. And this is what I'm doing every day to get me in that direction. It actually will be inevitable for you to get to that place. You will have to achieve that. If you keep doing the things, like I said, your in, input determines the output. So instead of trying to manipulate, hey, this is what I want in life, so let me try and maneuver this to get this, just change the input and the output will follow automatically, you know. Um, uh, who's this? There's this uh, famous leadership person. I forget his name right now, but he always talks about the rule of five. And what he says is that if you go outside and get any tree, and get an axe, and every day just swing at that tree 5 times, not much, not more than five, just 5 times. Go swing at the tree in the same spot. Go back, do it again the next day and the next day. You know what? Eventually, that tree is going to fall over, right? Why? Because every time you act, there's a little action that's happening. The tree is getting cut a little more each day, right? And so, with you doing that, eventually the tree is going to fall over. And that's the same thing with our lives. These small actions that seem like ineffective and seem mundane at the time, just as repeating them consistently over a period of time will amass huge results. And that's what we try to do is we want to change it and then we try to get these big results overnight. That's not how to do it. Just the small changes that you make daily and keep them going consistently, that's what will bring about the big change over a period of time. So that's my challenge for you today. Take the time. I mean, you spend all this time scrolling on your social media, you spend time watching your favorite shows, you have your timer set for when the next show is coming on. How about take time to do something that will really change your life and improve your life? Because guess what? 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, that's going to go by regardless. As long as God has granted us breath and granted us that time, the time is going to go by. So it's up to you to make the choice today. It's like, what do I want out of my life? What do I want to see different in the next 5 years? Okay, now that I know what I want, I'm going to purpose to do one thing daily that will move me in that direction. It doesn't have to be a big thing, something small, but I'm going to be consistent with it and I'm going to keep doing it. And then don't worry about the time frame. Don't worry about, oh, when will this happen? Sometimes I know we get so impatient because we want to see results. You see people that join a gym and they purpose, hey, I'm going to start getting fit. I'm going to work out every day. And then 2 weeks down the road, don't see any result. You know what? It's not worth it. Working out doesn't quit. It's just hard and I don't see any result. But wait, you've been not working out for so many years, 20, 30, 40 years, and that's why you have the results that you do. And now you decide to work out and you don't see results in 2 weeks and you want to quit. Does that make sense? So we need to stick with the program. Once we purpose in our minds that this is what we want and this is what we are going for, then we need to stick to the program. We might not see results in a month, 6 months, a year even, but we need to keep going. Eventually, the results will start to follow because, like I said, when you have the right input, the outcome is inevitable. So we don't get to focus on the outcome. We get to focus on the input, and then the outcome comes automatically. So I hope this encourages you. Do something that will work for you. You do things to please other people, to um, entertain yourself, but do something that will change your life and change it in a positive way. And it doesn't take much. Just sit down, be clear, set your sail, and be determined to keep with the actions consistently. Eventually, you will see the results. I hope this blesses you. Until next time, remember to love fully, forgive freely, and make each moment count. God bless you.